we're back with another episode of Living in Granbury, and we are out in Pecan Plantation. This is one of the hottest neighborhoods in Granbury. We get a ton of calls and texts from people that are thinking about relocating, moving here, looking at Pecan, maybe they're retiring here. And so we wanted to do an update because it's been like 2 years since we did an overview of Pecan Plantation. And so we're going to do an update for the pros and cons of moving to Pecan Plantation in 2025. There's been tons of changes. We're going to give updates on the orchards, the ranches, the landings, and we're going to go take a look at a few of those because there has been some changes since the last time we made a video kind of covering the entire neighborhood. So right now I am out at the village. This is kind of the central spot here, Pecan Plantation. Pecan Foods is right behind me. We have a coffee shop and also a drugstore, a pharmacy here to my left. There's a lot of cool things here on the village, and I'm not going to cover all of them right now. We're going to go back and hit some footage from the drones where we can kind of point out all of this stuff to you. But for right now, what we're going to do is we're going to go take a look, first of all, at the orchards because it is directly across from the villages. So we're right here. We may as well go ahead and knock this out. One of the things you can see about the orchards is all the trees are dead. It looks like a horror show. It was a little eerie because it was middle of the summer, you know, and not turning winter and fall. So the dead trees really stood out more. But that's one of the updates for the orchards actually that we're going to cover is that a lot of the trees are dead and they're actually going to be cutting all those down. So all the trees are coming down and all of that is going to be just a part of a neighborhood now. And that was something that wasn't necessarily clear in my 2022 video. So let's go ahead. We're going to go jump into some footage of the orchards, the landings, the ranches, and then we're going to go take a look at all the amenities in Pecan. Pecan is just flooded with amenities. I mean, it is just stuffed, jam-packed with amenities. It has more amenities than any neighborhood I've ever seen, and it's just a fantastic place. A lot of people have been coming here. We've even had clients that come in and look at 4 or 5, and Pecan is, typically one of the top picks for most folks that come in. Before we jump in, if this is your first time to the channel, be sure to click that subscribe button. Press that bell for notifications so you'll be the first to know about any changes here or updates in the Pecan Plantation market. As always, we get calls, texts, and emails, like I said, from people. Maybe they're a year out, maybe they're 2 years out, maybe they're just doing some research and trying to figure out if this is the right fit for them. Give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. We'd love the chance to connect with you and answer any questions that we can. We'd love to help out and give any advice. All right, let's go jump in the video. We're back out in the orchards. We just did a video of the orchards not too long ago, so if you watched that video, there's nothing really new here that I'm going to tell you. I'm just incorporating this into the overall Pecan Plantation video, just so that whoever's watching this, maybe for the first time, they can get a feel for what's going on out here. So the orchards basically runs next to Plantation Drive. It's right across the street from the village, which you will see when I do the map view to kind of lay all this out. But it has quite a few homes coming in. I'm guessing you probably have about 50 to 75 homes that will be put in here eventually. Right now, there's probably only 15 in this phase, so quite a ways to go before they finish developing it. I did mention the trees being dead. That is one of the things that people have complained about. So people having to plant their own trees in the yard, which is not a common thing in Pecan Plantation. Most of the houses out here do have mature pecan trees. With that, the neighborhood typically is going to be 2,500 minimum heated square foot for the orchards. The price points are going to be anywhere from $550 to $700. Not really seeing anything under the $550 price mark. Several builders out here, including Ryco, Kudo, and a couple of others. So they're great builders, good quality homes, and if you have any questions about the orchards, we'd love the chance to answer those questions. We actually just closed on a deal out here not too long ago, so we had a great experience with one of the local builders here and would love to help out if you have any questions. So now we're gonna go run over to the landings and we're gonna take a look at some of the updates there. They're installing roads and utilities and stuff, so we wanna get an aerial because that, again, that video was a year and a half ago, so there's a lot of updates that have happened since then. So we wanna give a good overview and update for the landings, and yeah, I'll see you over there. All right, I'm out here at the ranches in Pecan Plantation. As I mentioned lots have changed since the first video that I've done. If you look here, roads are being installed. This is true of the landings as well as the ranches. And as you can see, they're still clearing some trees. You know, this was the dirt road that we were on the first video, and it went back and we drove and did some drone footage. So these roads here are going in, and I actually drove past the landings on my way here, and a lot of the roads are in. So we're gonna go drive back to the landings and hit those videos. But yeah, it's pretty cool setup, and making really good progress. So just FYI, the ranches, if you recall, are going to be 3 to 7 acre properties that are back here on the backside of Ravenswood. I will tell you, as I had a couple calls that come in while I was driving out here, the service can get a little spotty back here. Sometimes you have to pull over if you get clear signal just to get a call. A lot of people out here will get extenders so that they can have good service at their home while they're maybe working from home or having calls. So a lot of people will get extenders like Verizon. You just put them in the window and they will connect to the towers and kind of amplify your signal around the house. But that's one of the drawbacks of being out this far. All of these properties that are out this far are typically going to be on a septic as well. So there's a couple things to note about the ranches area. All right, so we're going to drive over to the landings and take a look at that. All right, we're out here at the landings, and we were giving an update for moving out here to the landings in 2025. So last time we were here, we did our landings video. This road was only paved for about 30 yards. As it goes around that turn, all of that was a dirt road. And if you remember, the airstrip is going to be right out here in front of me. I was basically down at the tree line about 300 yards that way. So that dirt road is really no longer being used, and they have the streets installed. So this is what we were expecting, and it's just a great opportunity. They're still developing these. Lots of lots are still available. Many lots that are out here are still on the taxiway. A new phase is going to be developing soon, and we expect the prices of these lots just to keep going up. So if it's something that you think you want in the near future, in the next 10 years, it is probably worth going ahead and purchasing now, because those prices are going to continue to rise, and it is a great opportunity. So we're out here in the landings. We're going to get some drone footage of this, and we're going to go back and kind of do an overview of that in the office. But we wanted to kind of give a quick overview. So if you're a pilot, if you live in Dallas, if you live in Frisco, if you live outside of Texas, even out up north, and you're looking for a nice neighborhood to retire in a conservative city, in a conservative neighborhood, and you want to have a hangar for a small plane, this is a great option. There's 2 airstrips out here. This is the landings, and man, it's got some really sweet lots out here if you're interested in something like that. I'm out here in one of the many parks out here in Pecan Plantation, and I'm going to show you just a general overview of one of these parks. They all have a few different features, and a cool story. We moved here, and this was years ago here in Pecan, and my wife took the kids to the park, and I mean, we were brand new here, so we didn't know a ton about the neighborhood, and there's so much to know, it can be overwhelming. Anyway, she took them to the park, and I told her, I was doing some work, and I told her I was going to come meet her, and we started. I started driving around, and I went around, and I got to the first park, and I called. I was like, "Hey, y'all are not here anymore. I'm out here at the park. Nobody's here. I'm looking for the kids." And she said, "Well, there's actually more than one park here. You just got to come to where we're at." And me assuming, well, that means there's 2 parks in Pecan Plantation, which, hey, that's still a good amount. I left and went to another park, and then I called her and was like, "Hey, are y'all still here?" And she said, "Yeah, actually there's like 4 parks out here in Pecan Plantation." And I was like, "Well, why didn't you tell me that when I was on the phone, the first time or the second time?" Anyway, I ended up driving around Ravenswood. If you've ever seen that movie Forrest Gump, he starts running, he's kind of clean shaven, and by the end of it, he's got a full beard. That's what it feels like to drive around Ravenswood. I mean, this neighborhood is the size of Texas when you go around the outside of it. Anyway, 45 minutes later, I am finding them at the 4th park, because I go in the absolute opposite direction to where they're at. So lots of parks spaced around. It is a large neighborhood. And so we're out here looking now. The river is like a kind of a beach, sandbank. I take the kids down and we skip rocks in the river from time to time down here at the bottom. We have gone fishing out there, caught catfish, so it's pretty cool. Places to cook, little grills, obviously swing set, slide, jungle gym, and yeah, so it's a cool little area. You come out here with family, they got a little volleyball net there. So pretty sweet place. It's peaceful. Usually it's pretty quiet out here. It's nice to come down here with the kids. If you have family that come in and you want to just take them out for a little while, it's just a pretty sweet spot. We enjoy these areas, especially when it's not too hot in the summertime. You know, when it's not 106 degrees. This is a great spot to come out with family and friends and hang out for an hour or two. And also there's local snow cones, so you can go get hot, go grab a snow cone, you know. There's a snow cone place in the neighborhood, and there's one out the front gate that's actually really good called Snow Bells. Highly recommend it. It's got great snow cones. It's only here during the summer, so it's not here at the moment because it's fall. We're in November post-election 2024, and we're shooting a 2025 video for the pros and cons of moving to Pecan Plantation. And so we wanted to highlight this park along with some of the other amenities. Yeah, so if you have any questions, give me a call, shoot me a text, me an email. We're gonna go to the next one. Okay, we're back in the office and we're gonna do a quick look at a few of these areas in Pecan Plantation. We've got some drone footage, some pictures, and we're just gonna share some of these images here with you. So I'm about to share my screen and we're gonna run through some of these real quick. So we stopped by the Landings Air Park, and we've got a video out there. There's a picture of the sign. Some people haven't really seen our gate, so this is the entry. Over here to the right is where the members go through. Right here in the center is where you go through if you're a non-member. Obviously, if I have a client, I'm going through this lane, giving them my card and getting you in. Here is a overview picture of the area around the marina. So this is a cool spot, and we have some drone footage. I'm going to show you, give you a fuller picture of that here in just a second. The fire department that is inside of Pecan Plantation, it's the fire department and the EMS. This is where they are located. So pretty cool that we have this inside of the neighborhood. Obviously very quick deployment. This is one of the unique things about Pecan that you're going to get over, I think, anywhere else, is that we have all of this kind of internal. It is a kind of a very self-sustained neighborhood. We have the Pit Marina, which has a good brisket, some good food. Wednesdays is, they call it, I think it's the brisket sandwich or brisket rollover brisket. It's kind of in a taco shell almost. Anyway, it's fantastic on Wednesdays. It's a great price, and we do that pretty often. And so the Pit Marina is a place to eat at the boat ramp at the marina, and I'm going to show you that on this photo here. Let's go right here. Pretty cool. So the Pit Marina is right here. Obviously, here's the boat ramp here. And then so I'm actually going to take some drone footage, and this video is actually going to show you the dam where the lake turns into, the Brazos River, Lake Granbury. See if we can get it to move over. So here you get a pretty good visual of the marina area. In addition to the marina, we have the clubhouse. A lot of people will come here to eat. There's also, I think, 12-room hotel set up for guests or family members. People that live in the neighborhood can call in their guests to stay at this hotel. Nice little pond out there. We have 6 tennis courts. We're going to keep moving over. There's a parking lot there. Beautiful pool area. I think it goes to 12 foot on one end. It has a large kid side that's on the front end of the pool. Yeah, during the summer, they will have a waiter that walks around the pool and takes orders, so you can order fries or food or chicken or obviously some adult beverages as well. So great place, fantastic spot for family and friends to go during the summer. We love it when we go out and have family over. It's a lot of fun. The golf course is going to be here to the left. The Brazos River is directly behind the clubhouse. As you've probably already know, Pecan Plantation is basically a moat. The water goes all the way around the neighborhood, and in the two entries, there is a bridge to get into the neighborhood, basically. let's move over to the left, give you a good image of the golf course. All right, so we've got the driving ranges right around here, some areas where people will putt, and here's the golf course. So a lot of people come here and expect to take advantage of these amenities, and this is one of the big ones. The golf course, just a beautiful view here of Pecan, and we're going to move on to the Pac. All right, so there's 2 public pools in Pecan Plantation. Here is the second one. This one has a designated kiddie pool that is a very small pool. It'll be like right here, and then the pool itself is, I think, 3.5 to 5 foot deep, somewhere around that range. So it's not nearly as deep. No waiters there offering food or anything of that nature. It is a cool spot. It's usually a little less busy on like the weekends because it doesn't have all the extra stuff. It doesn't have a diving board. The other one at the clubhouse does have a diving board. We have this is a soccer field. There's going to be frisbee golf that will go back this way, and that you can go and play. There is a footpath you can take. A lot of people, you'll see people running along this footpath, and it goes all back through this area. There is a park for kids right here. Pickleball courts are back in this corner, and then there's a dog park in the area as well. So it's just a jam-packed area. There's a basketball court over here. If you kind of gotta go up this way, you'll see it in a second. But there's a basketball court. There's a place you can go play pool, foosball. I think they have a TV and PlayStation stuff set up for kids to come in and hang out. But it's a pretty cool setup here. So this is the Pac. It is right down from the village, which is where I started this video out. So where the gas station and the food store, Pecan Foods, is right across from the orchards. So, I mean, we're just right down from the village. So it's right in the center of Pecan. I kind of give you some aerials there. All right, so here is the village. So the Pac, this is the basketball court here. This is the parking lot for the Pac. And just a little bit over, you have the Ace hardware store. You've got Pecan Foods, and you've got all these restaurants and stuff over here with the gas station up here in the front. Now, one thing to note is that this is old drone footage that I have of these amenities. So this is not what the orchards looks like right now. So what I would like for you to do is take a visual of this and compare it to the drone footage that we have of the orchards now. So it is quite different. All right, so you saw the picture of the orchards just a minute ago. This is what the orchards looks like now. This is a matter of, a year. This is the orchards and how it's set up. So compare that to what you just saw a minute ago, and wow, what a difference. So the orchards is quickly developing, and it's been cool to watch. I mentioned one of the parks. We were walking out in the field, and I wanted to just show you a quick overview of this area. So obviously you have the beach where you can go out, skip rocks or whatever. You can fish out here on the river. But I wanted to show you kind of an aerial back from the river so you can see what the park looks like, kind of the size. Beautiful area. I mean, it really is. Nice homes on either side, but this is the big field, and you've got, the slide that you saw in that picture is here. You got tables set up. These are little grills, charcoal grills you can bring out. There's 2 of them right here. They're kind of spaced out around, obviously, the swing set here. Plenty of parking over here in the corner as well. But nice park, and they're all pretty similar in size and what they offer. All right, last but not least, we hit an update of the landings. So the last video we did of the landings, that probably goes back to over a year ago. And yeah, so we wanted to give you an updated look at what's going on here after, the roads and stuff are being installed. So I guess back when we came here the first time, I drove in my truck down this road, and we parked about right here. There were no roads back here going along, and so just seeing these changes are pretty impressive as well. So obviously you got the Brazos there. and we're gonna fly. We're gonna go up a little higher, and we're gonna fly down. We're gonna fly down here and just take a look. So obviously you've got the strip here, but I want to show you where these roads actually would go and branch off, so you can see kind of a good aerial picture of what to expect. All right, so this gives you a good overview of the landings as it's going to be phased. So you see the roads installed, and they crisscross out here in this open field. These lots, there are a few that are still available. Many of them have sold. There's going to be a new phase that's going to be going into its development phase here pretty soon as well. This is one of the hotter areas for people that are coming from out of state in Pecan, because it's one of the unique features of Pecan over pretty much any neighborhood that I know of in the Granbury area. Not many places in the state of Texas or even the country have 2 air parks and have these sort of amenities that Pecan's offering. So this is something that we do have regular reach outs for folks that are, pilots looking to purchase a home, maybe retire. Even if it's a few years out, these properties are only going to get more expensive as they develop, as roads go in, as internet's in, as power, as it gets further along that process. The higher the prices are going to tend to be. So if you're thinking about it, it might be worth looking at that sooner rather than later. All right, last but not least, we're going to do a very quick map view of the Pecan Plantation neighborhood. So the long road that goes around the neighborhood is here. We went out and did the ranches. They were out, somewhere right in here. And one of the problems, or one of the negative drawbacks that we've mentioned, is out in this area, you're going to have very bad cell service. Unless you have an extender at home, when you're driving, you're going to lose service a lot. It's not going to be great. I do wish that we had like a cell tower like put out here or something, just to service this part of Pecan, but not as of yet. So that's one of the drawbacks. Another drawback is if you live, say, right here, it may take you 12, 15 minutes to get to the gate, plus 12, 15 minutes to get to 377. You're 30 minutes just to get to Granbury, like HEB. All right. So if you're going to go from there to Fort Worth, you're an hour and 10 minutes, from HEB to Fort Worth. So this adds a lot of time to the trip to be this far back. So there are Ravenswood homes that are located here forward. They're pretty close to the gate. They're pretty comparable to everything else in the neighborhood for the most part. Once you get way back here, it's a little bit more brutal. If you're here, it is a trip because you got to go, up and go this way to get to the front gate, or you can just go straight down through the back gate and go out. You're probably 10 minutes from either gate, from this location here. Most of the homes in the neighborhood are going to be, up in this area and kind of, up in this part of the neighborhood. Most of these are going to be on mud sewer. Most of these properties are going to be within 8 minutes to the gate, to front or back gate. Some of these back here obviously will take a little longer. But so I live over here in this location, and it takes me 7 minutes to get from here to the front gate. It takes me about 90 seconds to get to the back gate, which is over here. So very quick access to the back gate. And I love the location area where we are. All right, so looking at the neighborhood, there have been a couple of complaints about Pecan Plantation. So one of the cons you're going to get is where you are in proximity to 377. You got to go down this road, which from front gate to 377 is about 11 to 12 minutes. If we go back gate, you got to go down, and you got to go down Membrino and 144 in order to get to 377, which again is going to be about 15 minutes to do that from the back gate. So to get to 377 is going to be 12 to 15 minutes depending on which side you're trying to get to and which gate you're coming out of. Comparing that to other neighborhoods, most of them are a little closer to 377. So any sort of thing you're going to do on 377 is going to have a 15-minute one-way addition, 15 minutes the other way, so a 30-minute addition of time requirement to do it. And for some people, they don't want that. Now, again, Pecan is a very self-sustaining neighborhood. It has a lot of amenities, a lot of stuff. If there's anything you need, like Pecan Foods is there. We got Ace Hardware. There's a lot of options. We have our own car wash here, for example. Gas station here. So there's a lot that we have that makes it less of an inconvenience. But if you're wanting to go into town, it is a bit of an inconvenience. Fact of the matter, that is what it is. We've gone over a few of the pros. I think one of the things that I have to mention, that we need to mention, is that the tax rate out here in Pecan, because we're unincorporated, is 1.2, which means you're getting a nice home and a nice HOA at a lower tax rate. So while you do have to pay the HOA fee, you get access to these amenities, you are paying a little bit lower in property taxes, which is very helpful. Of all the things that I like about Pecan Plantation, the safety of the neighborhood, the fact that the properties are well kept, that homes tend to appreciate in value, that everything is monitored to a degree. That's one of the things that I appreciate most about it. There are neighborhoods where there's more what I would call like riffraff, or just mobile homes and stuff kind of interspersed out in the neighborhood. Those can really bring down property values. And so Pecan, monitoring that is one of the things that I do like about it. It's one of the things that appeals to me in terms of from a financial investment side. Now, there's a part of me that wants my own acreage and wants to be left alone and want to do what I want to do. And if that's what you're looking for, Pecan might not be the best fit for you because they do monitor quite a few things. And that might be the drawback, would be having all of these HOA regulations. So with that, I am glad that you tuned into today's video. We have been putting out some Pecan Plantation videos for some time now. This is meant more as an update for those who've been keeping up with it. But for those who are just getting to know the neighborhood for the first time, we live out here. We've basically driven every road out in Pecan Plantation. We know the area, we know the market. And if you have any questions about it, feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to help or give any advice that we can. And if we don't hear from you, we hope to see you around Pecan sometime.